Ready, monkey? Little floor dog chewing on your bone. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Houston with a Problem. Monkey butts on the floor chewing on a bone. Shiny Shirt Week, day 7. I believe this is kanji for flame. At least I hope it is. Anyway, it's shiny. It's basically from the Guy Fieri collection. Look at that sheen. Look at that iridescence pop off of there. It's just sexy. So, well, drip, 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 drip. The most recent dockets, that came out yesterday, which were service documents, affidavits of service, things like that. They went out to the Department of Justice. They went out to the Secretary of the Treasury. They went out to all the state attorneys generals where there are subsidiaries still for Bye Bye Baby. Remember, not Bye Bye Baby, for Butterfly. Because Butterfly is Butterfly 1, Butterfly 2, Butterfly 3, Butterfly 4, so on. Those are in individual states. I don't know if you guys remember when Sal and Jake were on about a month ago. And they talked about how you can avoid SEC filings if you do all the filings in each state where you're conducting business. So there's like 37 states where they still have subsidiaries. And those 37 state AGs all got notices for these documents. Today also, a lawsuit got filed by Global, one of those guys' names, Global Propositions, Global, oh my gosh, why my brain? Global Retail. There we go. So Go Global Retail is suing Dream On Me. They claim that they entered into an NDA, confidentiality agreement, to share proprietary information with Dream On Me, and that they would make a bid together for all of Bed Bath & Beyond's assets. Not just their IP, but also like their merchandise and everything. And they claim that Dream On Me broke that agreement by bidding just for the IP on Baby. Now, Go Global was going to bid $60 million total for Bed Bath & Beyond, all subsidiaries, including Baby, and all of their inventory. Which there's a reason why their bid would not be taken, because they made hundreds of millions of dollars off the inventory. So this to me, this seems like a kind of shot in the dark. Also, they're suing Dream On Me, but according to Dream On Me's agents, they don't own Baby. There's some other investors who do. So Dream On Me obviously had another agreement with someone else to bid on just Baby stuff, and they aren't the ones running it. So be interesting to see what comes out from this lawsuit, or if it just gets slapped around because Go Global didn't stand a chance with their bid as it was. What else, monks? What else? There was a space call between PP people and shills yesterday, and it was a disaster. The guy, I forget what his name was, Beecher or something, who claimed to be a bankruptcy expert, really didn't seem to understand anything that was in the bankruptcy documents. He was talking a lot about how, like, you can't utilize the nulls because the unsecured creditors aren't made whole, and if the secured creditors take ownership, shareholders get nothing. Like, dude, what do you think the $10.8 billion is for? It's to make whiny unsecured creditors whole, and then anyone who's left will take equity because they're not stupid. Also, the documents already basically said that those unsecured creditors have been made whole. They were going to get a minimum of 2.5% return to 100% return. And it appears as though they've been made whole and sent packing. Also, the bonds are still tradable. So they can still come out of bankruptcy, not being made whole, still maintain their bonds if payments continue on the bonds after bankruptcy. So that clown has no idea what's going on. Plus, they were really super racist and kind of violent. I think that dude said he's going to shoot Caius in the face or something. Like, chill out, dude. Chill out. Yeah. That I listened to it for like half an hour, and I was like, it just sounds like children arguing, and I just turned it off. It's like, this is This isn't helping anybody. Rosa had a live yesterday. I wasn't able to watch it live, but I watched it last night. She explained sort of the reasons behind her appeal, what's in her appeal, why she thinks it has standing. Does a good job. The live chat on there was full of just a bunch of people fucking fighting with each other. Space calls, I think, are terrible. I think they're terrible for society. I think they're the worst things you could possibly do is hold a space call. Because all it does is it takes a bunch of people who supposedly agree on what the outcome should be, and then makes them hate each other. Like her chat, on her live chat yesterday was just full of people who have the exact same goal. They want to realize huge gains off their MMTLP/NextBridge. And all they do is hate each other. And it's like, chill out, man. Chill. There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason any of you should hate each other. Just chill out. Everyone's going about what they're doing in their own way. They're trying to get the same goal. Shake hands. Give each other a hug. Smooch on the lips. Whatever it can be. But then I chatted with Rosa afterwards. Since I'm going to Miami, I'm going to the PP Pulte meetup. I'll be there for a few days. I may try, if Rosa is in Tampa, I may try a day, do my 4-hour drive across the Everglades, hang out with Rosa, and then do a 4-hour drive back one of the days that I'm down there. We'll see. She might be in Chicago, visiting family. So if it works out, it works out. And if we can, we'll try to do like a live thing. 2 of us in the same room at the same time. Like both giving sashimi scratches on the head or something. Boink. It's amazing to see like how high Monkey's bone chewing spikes on the meter, the sound meter. Okay. Throw stuff at me. Copy and paste was William Morgan's here first today. There we go. Nobody's enforcing the rules except Houston's dominatrix Nutcrusher 2873, but that's an entirely separate subject. Nutcrusher has a job to do, and I expect them to do it well. DRG78 Houston. I tried DMing you over Reddit for my Blue Sky, aka Cheese Whiz Califia, but wasn't able to. Let's see if Cheese Whiz Califia. Did I get it? Cheese Whiz Califia. Or would you be? Maybe it says I have a chat, but I don't see any chats in there. What the what? Refresh that. Refresh it. I want to get you one, and we are going to get you one. Okay, maybe if I just go here and I scroll down past everyone making memes of me to all right. Blue Sky code list. Maybe you commented in there. Okay. Nope. No. Oh, there you go. Okay. I'll send you a message and see if that works. All right. Oh. I don't have the ability to send you a message. Cheese Whiz, did you turn off DMs? you might have DMs turned off because I don't have the ability to message you on here. Maybe if I go like this and I say, message me through my profile. There we go. We'll hopefully get that to work. All right. There we go. We'll give that a whirl. See if that works there, DRG78. Chris Lick bought some August 24th BBY bonds on IBKR for 0.6% face value. Do you think these will be paid out? One sec. The cat is meowing at the door. Enter, you fat king. Get in here. Yeah, you're a cat. Do your cat thing. I would think so. Namely because if unsecured creditors have to be paid out to realize the nulls, you would be an unsecured creditor. Now, I have a feeling that they're not going to be like lump sum you. Is that they're going to emerge, and that existing unsecured bonds that aren't paid out in whole will exist and continue to be paid as time goes on. They just emerge from bankruptcy, and the new entity will have this debt. They may rename the debt, but it will still exist. So I think there's a good chance. Lisa. Houston, a Scottish politician racked up £11,000 phone bill on his iPad whilst roaming abroad. He blamed his kids for watching football games. What's the worst phone bill you ever received? There was a time I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. So my sister Rachel would have been like 9, 10, somewhere in there. And we saw an ad in the newspaper, like in the section where the comics newspaper were, there was an ad for you could call Santa Claus. And so we dialed the phone call to Santa Claus, and we talked to Santa Claus together for like hours. And it was a 976 number. It was like 976 Santa Claus. And it was like $3.99 a minute to talk to Santa Claus. And we didn't know this. And so we talked to Santa Claus for like hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars worth of time. And my mother, when she got the phone bill, freaked out, had to explain to us what 900 numbers were, and screamed and yelled at the phone company and threatened to sue for like taking advantage of children and blah 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 blah, because we're kids. And I think she managed to talk her way out of the like very expensive phone bill. That's the only time I've had a surprising phone bill. I did have a water bill once that I thought was going to kill us. So when I was going to school in Hawaii, I'd read the Seattle Times while I was going to school in Hawaii. I'd read the Bainbridge papers. I'm starting to just know what's going on at home. And I read an article about this lady in Medina, which is where Bill Gates lives on Lake Washington. And she had like filled her swimming pool with a hose, took the hose out of the swimming pool, and then just forgot to turn the hose off. So the hose just ran for like months before she realized the hose had been on. And she got like a $75,000 water bill and was freaking out. Well, the house I was living in, my landlord owned our house and then like the house next to us and the 2 lots behind us. And one of the lots behind us, he started construction on a new home. And the contractors were like using our electricity and they were using our water until they got set up for all those things. And one of the contractors had hooked up a hose to our spigot and then like used it to, mix concrete, wash something off, and then never turned it off. And like the home got built, and I don't know, 2-3 months later, I go out to go get the hose because I'm gonna wash my car, and I realize the hose is on. It's been on for like 2 months. So I call the landlord. I'm like, dude, and the landlord lives in California, so he knows like water bills to him are like, oh my god. So I call the landlord like, hey, we just discovered that your contractors used our spigot, and the hose has been on for like 2 months. What do we do? And he's like, oh my god. Okay, look at your previous water bill, pay that amount, and anything over that, I guess I'll have to cover. And in his mind, he's thinking he's gonna be paying like 60 grand for this water that was used. And our water bill comes, and our water bill went from $7 to $11 because Hawaii made a law that you're only allowed to charge a customer for the electricity it costs to get the water to your house. You can't charge for profit, can't do that stuff. And because we live downhill of the mountain, the water just flows down by gravity. So, whew, like I forget how many like 1,000 cubic feet were used, but it was some ridiculous number. It was like 500,000 cubic foot increments of water were used or something. Like we basically just became the largest spring in all of Hawaii as a result. But yeah, that one, if it had happened anywhere else in America, that water bill would have bankrupted pretty much everyone involved. So, phew. Anyway, 976 Santa Claus. You can talk to Santa Claus if you're a stupid child. DOG78, also your reaction to Big Dicks Halfway In 2 shows ago was the best. Love your show. Hey, we're going Big Dicks Halfway In. All of us are going halfway in. Should have a drive-through? Like a drive-through espresso stand called Little Dicks Halfway In or something. Little Dicks all the way in. All right. Kelly Reed, SEC adopts rules to improve clearing agency governance and mitigate conflict of interest. So are we about to teabag the clearinghouses once we rocket Halo style? We'll see. I just, like before I came on, I just saw a note from someone showing that one of the marketers, oh, where'd that go? Where did that go? I go there. Where are you? Here we go. Oh, no, there we go. Peep show. All right. Someone posted to this. Where are you? It was about... Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Not the lawsuit one. That's interesting. It was not Doug Sifu. It was about some market player that got busted. Where'd it go? It just popped up. Someone deleted it already? Not that. Not that. Not that. Oh, crap. All right, it's gone now. There's some market player that facilitates trading that apparently fudged their data for the last 3 years. It got busted for it. And now I can't find it. And then I can't remember who the market player was. Like it just popped up. And I read the headline, read a couple of lines, and then had to start the show. Now it's gone. Dang it! That's what I get for searching for Cheese Whiz Calyphia. Nuts. Anyway, there's a lot going on. There's apparently problems with the CAT system. The CAT system wasn't able to follow these trades like they're supposed to. And you got guys at King Griffin trying to get rid of the CAT system. So my guess is people are actively undermining this system that's designed to follow these trades through and be able to trace back who sold what and who bought what. So it's like a crappy version of a blockchain ledger, but they're trying, guys. They're trying. Hazel A. Houston. Well, it's the Friday. I thought we'd get our BBYQ shares or at least info and nothing. Well, on Schwab, apparently, the date of the price no longer reading September 29th and now reading today's date. So there's little weird things that are happening in there. I guess the next date we look for is Monday. It's always going to be tomorrow. I do think it's really interesting that we're CCing the government and attorneys generals and Department of Justice and stuff on all these documents. I say we, I mean the plan administrator. But the plan administrator is the lawyer who unraveled all the fraud at Bernie Madoff's market maker and hedge fund, right? He's the one who discovered where all the fraud was and unraveled it all. It's a very interesting selection. Like this is just a liquidation. You know what? You could have any random lawyer be the guy who unravels this thing, but instead you have the top fraud lawyer in America do it, and you could have any company, any set of lawyers you want to do the bankruptcy proceedings on this thing. But instead, what you have is the top merger acquisition, null preservation people on earth are the ones doing it. It's not just anybody. Like that dude that was on the space call who's like, I'm a bankruptcy expert. Like, if you were such a bankruptcy expert, why weren't you hired to do this? Right? Like, because you're not on the tier that these folks were. The folks that were hired to do Bed Bath & Beyond are the all-stars. Those are the guys like in baseball that have career wars of like 90 and higher. Those are your Ken Griffey Juniors and like Warren Spahns and stuff. Like you aren't part of that group because you're kind of an idiot who has no creativity and doesn't probably know the law that well. What you want the super creative ones that are like, hey, this is a crazy thing we can do, and this is the legal loophole and the window we can get through to do it. They're not going to hire your lame ass to do this because you're not good enough. You just aren't. You might be a bankruptcy lawyer or a bankruptcy expert or whatever it is you're claiming to be. Although your picture is you with a gold chain and fucking no one's hiring you for anything, dude. So, like, you're not going to be part of this. You are not good enough to be a part of whatever it is they've got going on. So it's It's coming. Something's coming. And we're going to find out one of these days whether it's zero or hero. And we sit around and twiddle our thumbs and wear our shiny shirts and, twist our mustaches. It might get long enough. I can almost get the ends twisted into a nice curly Q. But join me. Pet a fat cat. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, cough it up, monkey. That's what happens when you chew on, soy plastic. What are those things made out of? Oh, you shoot BBs all over the yard as a result. Kelly Reed, a man walks into a library and says to the librarian, "Do you have that book for men with small penises?" The librarian looks on her computer and says, "I don't know if it's in yet." Yeah, that's the one. All right. Maui Sam's here. Brenda, Queen of Swords. Brenda, I think you still are owed. Yes, you're on the list. You are still owed a Blue Sky code. So send me a message on some platform or another, and we'll get you. She says, "Good day, Sir Houston. Stocking up on No Labs. Should be anytime now. Everything is anytime now, man." It's Liddy's here. Woo! And Watt DC's here. Woo! First name, last name, Houston. Thinking of buying the Gold Rush Nugget bucket on Amazon to learn panning. Also, one of those bags of sand with gold so I can learn to pan before I go out in the field blind. Any thoughts? Oh, they're great. Just don't expect, you're going to have more gold in that bag than what you paid for the bag, because those things are seeded perfectly to make a profit. Do you guys ever watch, what was that show? The guy with the really huge dick. What was that show called? It's like Gold Adventures. It was this dude with his Sony high cam made his own little gold show and go around. Oh, what was his name? He was old and he always the dude had the biggest schlong in the entire world. Just be he'd have his Levi's on and there'd just be this outline of the schlong and it'd be worn away because just how big it was. But anyway, my friends and I was just fascinated. This dude has a huge dick. He did an episode once where he went to Home Depot and just bought a bag of sand and just see what the gold content was of the sand he had, and he got $50 in gold for a $10 bag of sand. He was like, "What?" And so then he went and he bought out all the sand that was at the Home Depot and made $1,000 off of it or something. So he's had a great time doing that way. Yeah, do that. I don't know necessarily where you live, first name, last name, but you can also you can go to, if you live near a beach, you can go to the beach and look where black sand is at the beach, and you can see if there's any gold in those black sands. You can go to any local streams and check it out. But it's nice. It's wintertime. It's cold. It's always nice to buy one of those bags of sand and do it in your sink in the kitchen. Just make sure you don't plug the drains with rocks and crap. So, but yeah, I do it. It's fun, and you will get gold out of those things. It'll be a little bit. Just get a little vial. I remember I had a vial that was fraction the size of a pen, and the first gold I ever found I put in that vial and was on the I gave it to my mom and she put it on her little mantle above her kitchen sink, and then she got her kitchen remodeled and that little vial of gold disappeared. So one of the contractors yoink, and they stole about 70 cents worth of gold. But there you go. Ludicrous Speed, Houston. Do you think Pulte is involved with BBBY Butterfly? He tweets random teases, but I'm not sure what he's up to. I'm not sure what he's up to either. I have a feeling that he said flat out, "I am not invested in BBBYQ." But he said he wasn't allowed to talk about anything else. He wasn't allowed to talk about any of his other investments in there. So it makes me think that he is perhaps invested in people who bought up the bonds, people who are funding dip and philo facilities, things like that. That would be where I think he's going. So he can say, "Yes, I do not have any BBYQ stock there." But he could be part of financial backers doing other things. And I have a feeling that is the omission that he's letting scream loud on that. I'm sure we'll find out. I'll ask him. I'll ask him on December 14th if everything has happened by then. We got less than a month. So 28 days as of yesterday until we'll hang out and we'll figure out what's going on. I'll be seeing Julius Miami. I don't think he's in the chat right now, so I don't see his name popping up in there. So anyone else in Miami, let's have lunch. Let's sit on the beach and ogle Instagram models or something. Okay. It's Liddy so pumped on bread and crumbs and Knowles. Phil, Houston, how confident are you that shareholders won't get shafted on BBYQ? Pretty confident. I put myself in like 90th percentile of confidence. Namely because I think what Ryan Cohen's trying to build is a name for himself in the way that ICANN and Warren Buffett have built names for themselves. In that people who believe in him make money, so they invest with him some more. And if he screws over the shareholders on BBYQ, he has lost the trust of the investing public. So he cannot become that person. So I do not think it's in his interest. Like, I do not think this BBYQ play is a purely financial motivation play for the folks that are behind it. I think they've got two reasons. One, build up a legendary status, and two, fuck over the shorts and the market makers. Absolutely destroy them in a way. Like, this is like Babe Ruth calling his shot, right? Like, the creditors and the debtors are there. They're calling their shot. They're telling the Department of Justice and the Secretary of Treasury and the SEC, like, hey, we're going to do this, 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 and this. And the SEC was like, no, don't do that. And the court was like, no, they can do that. And the SEC is like, oh no. They're saying we're going to bank this one off the wall. It's going to hit the 4 ball to the 9 ball to the 7 ball to the 12 ball to the 6 ball to the 2 ball and in. Like they're calling one hell of a shot right here. And when that thing goes in, hedge funds and market makers are going to die because of the naked short selling you have allowed. And that's what I think they're doing. I think this is entirely a play to show the SEC, FINRA, everyone else how fucked up they are in their regulating and what a poor job they're doing, and that they can blow up the entire economy with one little bankrupt towel company. That's what I think is going on. So we'll see if I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure the people that are doing the DD on this are right. That this is a very, 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 very unique bankruptcy. The shills keep messaging me like, oh my God, I get so many messages from them all day. And I just fuck with them while they're messaging me. But they're always like, this is just a normal bankruptcy. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. A normal bankruptcy does not get finished in like 6 months. It just doesn't. That does not. Even Hertz, which was not a normal bankruptcy, it was very quick, was a year, right? So Sears has been going on since like 2017 and will be going on for another 2 years. So they'll be in almost a decade by the time they get Sears unraveled. This is not a normal bankruptcy. You do not spend $50 million on merger and acquisition and null preservation and confidentiality agreements and blah, 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 that all these lawyers have been doing in a normal bankruptcy. Especially if it's a liquidation. If it's liquidation, who gives a shit what's liquidated? It's gone, done. Either you make it or you don't. You don't see $10.8 billion suddenly show up a month after the final plan has been submitted. That is not normal, right? Like, that has happened 0 times. Like, they want to say, oh, the lawyer fees for the Knowles and merger acquisition is normal because you're exploring. You don't do it. You don't explore 2,000 plus hours a month, right? For 5 months on Knowles and merger acquisition. You do a week. You talk to the creditors, like, hey, would you be interested in obtaining these Knowles if they're there? The creditor says yes or no. If they say no, you stop exploring because the creditors are the ones paying your legal bills. And so you're not going to spend 2,000 and more hours each month exploring it after the creditor's like, I don't want it, right? You just don't do that. It's not how it works. You don't blow $50 million of money you could not have to spend on something that won't work out. Like, oh, sorry, you spent $50 million on this, but it looks like it's a no-go there, pal. You don't do that. You just don't. So, this is a very unique bankruptcy. There are aspects that are similar to others, but as a whole, it's very, very, very different. You can go back through other bankruptcies of retailers like this. You don't see anything like this at all. I do think there's a fraud element. I do think that there's a fraud element to be looking at consultants, Mark Tritton and others that were involved on the board. And if they did things specifically to destroy the company from the inside, I think that's part of what the plan administrator possibly is looking at. Iggy sent me a thing the other day, an article from 2020 where Mark Tritton had approved a sale leaseback. And we talked about this several times in the show. They sold $250 million of real estate they owned and then leased it all back. That is how you destroy a company. This is what's destroying AMC, is the fact they've got all these leases. This is what the leases are what brought down Bed Bath & Beyond. Is they had $5 billion in lease obligations and they couldn't pay anything else because they sold all their land, gave themselves huge bonuses, and then did giant stock buybacks when they shouldn't have. And drained every penny that company had. So all of a sudden, when the bills came around for leases, we're like, my pockets are empty, sorry. I do have a feeling that there's aspects, there's people who investigate fraud, and there's folks who are going to pick this thing apart, send stuff to the Department of Justice, Treasury, SEC, and so on, saying, hey, these people were violating their fiduciary duty to their shareholders, specifically on the part of short hedge funds. So there's going to be all sorts of investigations. If this thing blows up the way it does, Congress will be investigating what the hell's going on. And they're going to want to have everything documented, be able to point fingers at everyone who's to blame. So, and be able to wash their hands of it. So I think that's where we're going on this one. Watt DC gives us memberships. Antonio Baez got one. Hans R. Iggy Lemon. Walt the Man in the Middle, Mario Valdez, Logic Dustbin, The Dude Cometh, Anonymous, Cable Guy, Biggs, and Jason. Jason Blacksword had one. Fantastic. Thank you, Watt. Thank you so much. We got a whole bunch of green people now. They're green. All right. I had way too many donuts before this show. My belly is full of donuts. Is it factory? It feels like whose line is it anyways when it involves enforcement of the rules on the hedge funds? The rules make it up and we don't enforce them anyway. Okay. Andrew Stewart, I got one hell of a crazy shirt coming your way. Fantastic. Should be in your P.O. box on Monday. Noted. I think it'll be a good day to get a crazy shirt. Indeed. Thank you. Grape, Houston, have you watched Isaac Asimov's Foundation TV series adaptation on Apple Plus? I don't have Apple Plus. There's a lot of shows that I would like to watch that are on Apple Plus. I don't have Apple Plus yet, so I probably should get Apple Plus. I wanted to watch For All Mankind ever since I saw the first trailer for it. I was like, this looks awesome as a space show. So yeah, that's Grape. I will check that out. And Stuart Houston, can you explain how the Higgs field works and how it interacts with space-time? No. I mean, Higgs field. So the Higgs boson is the particle that was thought to exist for a long time. They finally discovered it by smashing stuff together at CERN. It is the particle that lends mass to things. So if something that has mass contains a Higgs boson, that's what gives it its mass. How it interacts with space-time. Essentially, the entire theory of gravity is that gravity makes a dimple in space-time, and that dimple curves space and then stretches in some places, causing dilation. And the more mass you have, the more stretching you have. If you just have one single Higgs boson, space-time, it's there, but it's not a big enough dimple that anyone cares about. You get to the point where objects have gravitational fields that can attract other objects, then it starts to make a more serious dimple. How it works beyond that, gotta get a particle physicist on that one. It just does. There's your super duper physics explanation for how it interacts with space-time. It does. Deal with it. Coffee Donuts at Homer. Jamie at $13. Nice. I keep grabbing 10 here and there. Thanks, shorts. Exactly. Pick it up while you can. And oh, baby, do I hope there's a cash component with this BBY thing, because I will get so many of them. Oh, nom, 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 nom. Just gobble it up. Grape Houston, do you think BBY caused other meme stocks to squeeze as well? I'm still annoyed Emmet and BBig is doing so terribly. BBig may do terribly forever. We'll try to get Shad on here for another show talking about the updates of the lawsuits and everything. But yeah, they're like in receivership. All of the board members are like scared they're going to get criminal charges. They really screwed that company up big time. MMAT, I can't talk about, but we'll just say weird things are going on there that I would not suspect. But yes, I do think the basket explodes. I do think that if BBY does what I think it's going to do, which is absolutely obliterate shorts, they're going to be forced close on every short position they have. The entire basket's going to explode. And the government is going to go and watch it all happen and then have to spool up the printer to deal with it all. Okay, the read, U.S. 10-year Treasury yield rising typically ends with a financial accident. The most recent example is 2018 global sell-off that was sparked by the U.S. Federal Reserve raising interest rates and scaling back its quantitative easing program. This led to a sharp increase in bond yields around the world, which caused widespread panic and selling in equity markets. You also have Japan, which might sell off $1 trillion in U.S. bonds in order to combat inflation they have right now. Problem is that Japan is printing money, and their Minister of Finance is like, I don't see us stopping printing money right now, which is not going to help the fact that the value of the yen is dropping compared to the dollar. But Japanese manufacturing benefits greatly when the yen is weak compared to the dollar. So you might see more exports from Japan suddenly as a result. Because it'll be cheaper to buy, like, you can buy a battery from China or you can buy a battery from Japan. Well, all of a sudden, the battery from Japan is like 4% cheaper. You're getting the batteries from Japan type thing. So they could see a boon in manufacturing as a result of that. Mario Valdez, Houston. What's your take? Oh, dang it. There's a reset of the chat. All right, Mario Valdez, where'd you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Dang it. Sorry. Stupid. Get out of the way, stupid fucking. There we go. Gosh dang it. This thing, for some reason now, if I click on the chat to like scroll up, it has this dumb window get in the way and it stops scrolling. It's very annoying. Okay. Mario, that is. There we go. What's your take on MH370? That's the Malaysian Airlines 370 that vanished. Did they ever find any wreckage? I saw some video today with 3 weird orbs circling it before it either disappeared or exploded. My guess is any video footage of 3 weird orbs circling it is probably as fake as can be. They did find some wreckage in the Indian Ocean, I thought. Didn't they? Like found like a door or something or skin of the plane. MH370 wreckage. Flight MH370's debris suggests pilot lowered planes. So 19 pieces of wreckage have washed ashore so far in Madagascar. All right. So that's from Sky News from last year. Doink. Chrome. Boom. Done. Okay, so we got some plane wreckage. A new discovered piece of debris from MH370 suggests the pilot lowered the plane's landing gear just before it plunged into the ocean, supporting the theory that the craft was crashed deliberately. Yeah, you don't want to lower the landing gear if you're going to do an ocean landing. That sounds like a way to hurt yourself. Boeing 777 component known as a trunnion door was found in the possession of Madagascan fishermen 25 days ago, becoming the first physical evidence suggesting one of the pilots purposely tried to destroy and sink the Malaysian Airlines jet with 239 passengers and crew on board. There you go. So, washed up in Madagascar. Level of damage with fractures on all sides and extreme force of the penetration right through the debris item leads to the conclusion that at the end of the flight was in a high-speed dive designed to ensure the aircraft broke up in as many pieces as possible. So there you go. Looking at the fractures and so on. 19 pieces of wreckage have washed up so far in Madagascar. There you go. That's... Oh, shit. Ugh. Off. The impenetrable shiny shirt cannot protect me from that. And then I'm off. Can't watch live. Sorry if you already answered. Are we on track for Monday or is it a Monday night docket? Man, every day it's tomorrow. So, Monday makes sense because that's the last day they can do any change to the plan. And the 28th, I think everything's consummated. Done. Last people paid out. They are no longer in bankruptcy. So, sure. I mean, I keep saying yes to all this stuff, and we don't know one way or the other, man. I don't know. You don't know. Some people know won't tell us until it's time. So, twiddle them thumbs. Twiddle them thumbs and on them off. Okay. Where was... I lost. Oh, there's my other. Okay. Fabrizio's plopping away there. Hi, Fabrizio. Frozen State Productions. Wow. My self-directed Roth via my job won't allow me to add IEP to my retirement account. I educated Vanguard rep by ICANN's possible involvement with a play, and they got interested. Very weird that you wouldn't be allowed to add a publicly traded stock to your retirement account, especially one that has like a 25% payout over a year. Seems like the type of thing you'd want in, investment account. Like, hey, this is a high yield dividend stock. It pays over and over and over and over again. That seems like what you'd want to have on there. The cheese is here. I got my lotion on my dick. Good. It's better than going in dry there, buddy. Snort alert. Oi, Houston. Hyperinflation after MOAS. How bad it could get. Thanks in advance. There might be some inflation after MOAS, but I think for the most part, it's a transfer of wealth. These people have money over here, and these people don't. And they're going to give their money to these people, and then all the people over here will have money, and people over here won't. That's the large part of what I think will happen with MOAS. There may be some folks on the new money side who go out and just spend like crazy and affect the economy that way. But I think a lot of the spending they're going to be doing is buying up the former assets of these people. They'll buy their beach homes. They'll buy their fancy cars. They'll buy their private jets. They'll buy their vacation homes and whatever. So I think there's just going to be a transfer of wealth for the most part. There will probably be printing that happens. But, there's only so much stuff you can buy, right? There's only so much things you can buy. So once you have, your 4 vacation homes and your fancy cars and your vacations and stuff, what else are you going to do? You're not going to go out and buy more toilet paper than you do now. You aren't going to buy, more bottles of ketchup. You're not going to buy more gasoline because you only drive so much. Even if you have a gas guzzling Ferrari, whatever, it doesn't guzzle any more gas than the Ford pickup you were driving before. So I don't see too much inflation on the consumer level as a result. There may be a boon to investment portfolios that happen. But then again, that's also exchange of wealth. These guys sell off all their assets, we buy them all. It just kind of evens out in the end. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with all of that. But I don't think the U.S. is in danger of hyperinflation, mainly because through all of this we have been experiencing inflation less than pretty much every country on Earth. And a large part of that is because we've got the global currency. We can what a lot of you are going to do is you're going to take your money and you're going to get the fuck out of here. You're going to go to the Seychelles or Malaysia or Monaco or something. And you're going to be spending your money there. It will go a long ways in a lot of those places. And, you might not be spending as much time, buying consumer goods here in the U.S. You may be improving the economies of lesser known nations around the world because, I don't know, you're a megalomaniac and you want to become like the Sultan of Brunei via cash or something. I don't know. But that's what I see. That's what I see happening quite a bit. Michael Harrow's Bye Bye Baby going private. I mean, technically it's private right now. So if it's going private, I don't know. I would think it's not in their best interest to be private. Snert alert, Houston Fury. Scott Paul and USGS opening a new building on the Colorado School of Mines campus, Energy and Minerals Research Lab. Right on. Ape Ghost Moon Protocol. Boobs. Where's Main Star Monkey Butt? She's down there. Her little tootsies are poking out. You can't really see them. She's behind the cat on the floor. She's been chewing a bone. Now she's exhausted chewing the bone, so she's napping. All right, fat cat. J-Dog, how likely volcano in Iceland could get angry this weekend? Towns nearby warned to evacuate. Yes, very likely. I'm actually surprised that lava has not popped out of the ground yet at the rate of inflation they're having. Most of the quakes are still a couple kilometers below the surface, so the magma chamber is moving really fast and inflating quite a bit. But I have a feeling it was Grivnik. Is that the name of the town? Crud. Get over here. We are going to leave the brothel of Bainbridge Island, and we are going to head back to Iceland, which is where we were before we went to the brothel. Iceland. Peninsula. Grindvik. This is where the earthquakes are happening. It's basically a big long line from about where the volcanic structure is by Blue Lagoon going out to the ocean, where all the earthquakes are happening. So if you look at the earthquake map, you'll just see like boom, 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 circle, 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 all in this line that goes out to the ocean. So my guess is it's inflating and rifting right there. Now, there are existing volcanic structures. You can see there's a lava field here. So this is a cinder cone that erupted. There's a lava field here. This is a cinder cone that erupted. Cinder cone, lava fields all through here. And you got ancient cinder cones to the north and to the east. Some other lava fields. This is a rift zone here. So you can see the curtain of fire happened here at one point. So this rifted open and lava flowed out. But you have lots and lots and lots of ancient lava flows. You can even see really ancient. There's probably hundreds of thousands of years old. This one here. You got lava flows that go out the ocean. You got lava flows that are everywhere along here. The rift zone itself is this. This is the splitting ridge. This is the spreading ridge between North America and Europe. It goes right through here. So there's a lot of magma comes up. Plus, Iceland is not only on the rift zone, but it's also a hot spot on the rift zone. So it's especially active. So what they're worried about is that you'll get where'd that curtain of fire go? This one here. So if you look at this line here, this is the earth split open and curtain of fire came up. Several miles long, just this big curtain of magma spilled out. Definitely consolidated into a couple big cinder cones here, and this is where the major flow was. So these shut off pretty quickly after a while. But I think the big fear is that you could get a split like straight through this town that does exactly that and just wipes this town off the map. So that's why they're evacuating everybody. And because they have no idea where the lava is going to pop out. It could pop out anywhere along where that splitting is happening. It could pop out in the ocean and they could get new land. It could pop up and just have new land form off the coast, or it could happen where these other existing cones are. So Grindavik could be toast. Now I did talk about the Iceland does fight magma. They will come out with hoses. If it's flowing into the town, they'll try to hose it down and stop the flow if they can. They'll just pump ocean water onto it like crazy to cool off the magma and try and get it to stop flowing and just make basically a big dam and have the magma flow around it and save the town. They've done that in several instances in places in Iceland before, but If it splits open in the town, there's nothing they'll be able to do. It'll be screwed. It will be screwed. Okay. Frozen State Productions. I wish you could have been part of the space call yesterday between PP Show and the shills. Your head would have exploded with ignorance. Pulte was attacked, and he smooth handled it. I mean, I was listening, but like the problem is there's like 5 people all trying to talk at the same time, and it just becomes a mess. And then I just be like, eh. So I listened for a little bit, and it's like, cannot. I don't know if I can participate, though, because they did ban my account, but for some reason I could still listen to the space calls. I don't know if I could talk on them at all with my banned account. It's Elon engineers, so they probably could. They probably messed that up. P. Kumar, Houston, if BBYQ or Butterfly start trading, how would I sell all my BBYQ shares at Common Fidelity account? You would be getting new equity. That's what's be happening there, P. Kumar. Is if it sells again, they would be issuing new equity to you as the existing shareholder. They still have you as an owner of record, so if they're issuing new equity, it would go to you, and that's how it would happen. Lisa saw a Chinese character on your shirt means fire, so yeah, I guess flame is close enough. There you go. Global bad actors. Mark Wood, ski in, ski out. Hell yeah, brother. Snortlert, Houston, what you listen to that space call yesterday? I did a little bit. J-Dog, is that the same global that owns and bringing back Toys R Us? I don't know. Rulers on Legacy Channel, it is sus to me that Pulte is friends and acquaintances with the Amy lady and completely dismissed her, telling Kais to talk American. I have no idea who the Amy lady is. I didn't hear that part, but I read about it later, and I was like, that's shitty. Yeah, the shills were quite racist in that brief moments of just racism, and I don't like that. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care if you're on my side. Don't be a racist prick. Just don't. Kelly Reed, man, that last Gist interview got me jacked to the tits. Let Jimmy rip. Let's get these criminals accountable for crashing economy again. The last interview was our very own Scott Pollan, who was on there. So, yay! Snortlert. The space is nearly 10 hours long. Holy crap. Jeez, man. I listened to 30 minutes. I was like, I'm out. How do people do it? How do you do it? It's just so long. Mark Wood, I don't know how you listen to 30 minutes. I listen to 30 seconds. Yeah. Owen Saunders here. Hi, pal. So, still bloody waiting. Yep. GP8 Frog. The intro needs to be longer. It's like an intro of an intro. Jamaican Mon, Houston. Hey, have a great show. We'll watch replay. All right. Ruler Zog, Legacy Channel. You even called her Sugar. And there's a photo of her sitting in Doug Sifu's lap like she's a sugar baby who gets around multiple super powerful rich dudes. Yeah, if you are sitting on Doug Sifu's lap, you've made some really terrible life choices at that point. Either A, you've been conditioned to want to sit on the lap of someone like Doug Sifu, or B, you've had no choice. And either way, that's years of therapy that should be taken into account or administered to figure out exactly why you're doing that. Marcus Hoffren, I listened to what Michael was listening on PP show, and the dirt I feel is kind of can't wash off. Yeah. Mick Batista's here. Cameron Mirza. Here's a free code for Blue Sky. Oh, someone can jump in that one and get a free code. But Cameron Mirza threw into the chat there, so deal with it. Hazel A, good deal, Houston. I'm glad you're in on the PP and Bill meeting next month. You deserve to go. Oh, thank the wonderful person who gave it to me. They're overseas and they aren't able to make it, so I got their spot. First State Productions, basically the shills have low IQ scores or didn't receive any schooling in thought process. Every shill stuck to their preconceived notions with no allowance for the other side's ideas. Yeah, unsecured creditors aren't going to be made whole. What do you think the 10.8 billion is for? To get them out of there so they shut up and let this thing move on. Ta-da! Also make it so that the shorts can't go in and buy the company, right? Because if unsecured creditors aren't made whole and there's no chance for nulls, right? Then a bid could come in from some short hedge fund, be like, hey, Your Honor, these guys aren't going to be made whole. There's no chance at any of this. We'll buy the company for $50 million. How's that sound? And then they'll just erase everything, cancel all the debt, be done. And the court go, okay. But now with a $10.8 billion claim, there's no way that creditor would approve a sale unless they're going to get their $10.8 billion back, right? So basically, it's like a poison pill that makes it impossible for one of those vulture capital groups to come in and just obliterate what's left, sit on responsibility on the shares. Where the money's going to be made is on reissuing shares and making sure the shareholders still have their part. Because the shareholders still have their part, then the shorts are still responsible for getting those shares and closing those positions and paying whatever fee or dividend or payout there may be. That's where the money's going to be made, because the company has 901 million shares on tap, which means if they issue the new equity for everybody to replace all the old stuff and it goes back to the market, they can approve in their SEC plan or whatever they put out. They say, hey, we're going to reserve a few million shares to sell to raise money for this new going operation, right? And so if prices fly through the roof, they're going to do exactly what Ryan Cohen did when he took over GameStop, which is, they'll sell some shares here and there when the price is absolutely insane. Because, GameStop kept spiking to like $350, right? And then each time it spiked $350, they'd sell some. It spiked $350, they'd sell some more. And eventually, they made $1.5 billion, paid off $600 million in debt, and they were done. So, I think that's how you do it. The share price gets to hundreds or thousands of dollars, and you sell off some millions of them, you are going to be able to pay off any $10.8 billion debt that's in there. So whoever fronted that money, they get paid back. And you may have some left over to, continue business as you wanted to. You've got, I thought it was like 30 leases. Apparently it's like 120 leases they still maintain for storefronts. And they've got 3 big distribution centers. So they can easily spool up and get going again under a new name or whatever. Or if there's a reverse merger with Overstock or Beyond, they can open up brick and mortars again under that name. They've got a lot that they can do. All right. Jason Blackwell, Houston. A job the circus is great. A job in the circus. Okay. A job in the circus is great when you're a human cannonball until you get fired. What are your Frozen State Productions? What are people who get all face painted for the big game but don't make it to the stadium? They're clowns. Does Houston live in Canada? I do not live in Canada, although I did live in Canada when I was a kid. He seems Canadian to me. Well, I lived in Canada off and on when I was a kid because my dad was in Vancouver, so I was up there like every weekend, spring break, Christmas, whatever. We're close to Canada here in Washington. I spend a lot of time in Canada throughout the year. Trace Patter, when we be on PP? I'll be on PP late tonight. So, like 9 p.m. West Coast, midnight East Coast. So it'll be late. I told them, like, you guys could keep raging for a couple extra hours. So, and I get off work, I can get in there. Oh, and Sandra, sorry, pal, I don't agree with not doing spaces. Most people are there to support each other. Then you have those like copy and paste. Just get along, people. Get along. Get along. Okay. Michael Anthony, Dish looks like the lows are in for a move much higher with the merger rumors with DirecTV. No, I wish I had more to play with so I could get in more things and fuss around, but I have no ammo until Monday when I get paid. J-Dog, go Huskies. Big game tomorrow against Oregon Beavers. Yeah, the Oregon Beavers are ranked in the top 10 now. So we've got University of Oregon, UW, and the Beavers all ranked in the top 10. What I find interesting is that UW is undefeated, but they're ranked number 5 in the country. They've played 6 top 25 ranked teams in one, and Florida State has played 1, and they're ranked number 4 in the country. I think that's some East Coast bias, if you ask me. Granted, UW Huskies have no defense. They are as porous as ever, but their offense is so amazing that they can just blow people out of the water anyway. So if they actually do face a school that has a real defense, you know, maybe they might get stopped a little bit and might not be able to do it. But I don't think Oregon State is that school. There will probably be a rematch between UW and University of Oregon for Pac-10 championship, Pac-12 championship, the last Pac-12 championship. It's crazy to me that the Pac-12 will cease to exist and all these schools are going to have to join these weird East Coast conferences and stuff. It's all because of Colorado. Like, there was an ESPN TV deal for Pac-12, and Colorado was like, no, even though they're like 0-12 in the season, like, we don't agree to this deal, and they couldn't get a TV deal started for next year, so none of these schools could get money for playing games on television, and stupid University of Colorado just detonated the entire Pac-12. So now you've got schools like USC joining, like, joining the Big Ten or something. Like, all their schools are in the East Coast. You get your stupid students. I got to go on 6-hour flights to do any games. This is ridiculous. So, Pac-12 disappearing, and they've got Oregon State, University of Washington, top 10. You've got the Utes ranked top 20. You have USC ranked top 25. So like half of this league that's disappearing is in the tops of college football. It's ridiculous. Whatever. It's not my job. Not my job to police the stupidity of people. Just sip my water, shake my head, and go. Some people's children. Okay. Visio Guy, the RMI, Rocky Mountain Institute, a green energy think tank, had a story about finding a heated parking lot in Minnesota that had a heated parking lot turned on for years. Summers too. There's a bill. So like they had a parking lot to make sure that the ice wouldn't form, and then they actually left it on during the summer. I'm sure that's freaking terrible. Okay. Michael Anthony Raymond James has a strong buy price with a target of $18, trading under 10 looks cheap. I don't know enough about Raymond James, but noted. First Day Productions, have you seen the story about super solar storm that might knock out the internet for months? Is the storm scheduled for MOAS? Is this from Inside Trader? Every fucking day is a solar storm is going to wipe everyone out. If there's an actual solar storm that's coming, it's gonna cause stuff to happen. We will have about 2.5, 3 day notice. And you would see it on like NBC Nightly News. It'd be like, hey, solar storm coming. Everyone turn off your electronic products by 10 p.m. this time on this date. But there's a whole bunch of like internet accounts and YouTube channels like, there's a solar storm. It's going to wipe us out. It's happening tomorrow. And they say that every day. Like that dude who predicts massive earthquakes every day. It's like, California has a 75% chance of being wiped off the face of the earth by 1 p.m. tomorrow. And then they're always wrong. If there's a solar storm coming, I will tell you. Ow, I just punched my keyboard by accident. So yeah, don't worry about that. I would have heard about it by now. Video guys, the book in or halfway in? Brenda Queen Swords, please give my Blue Sky code to someone else. Hardly do social media. Noted. Okay. And we will use yours for the next time around. Brenda Queen of Swords, cross out, star next to your name. Okay. All right. So who's that leave? I might as well do an update as to who that leaves. I got Sam O his. Cross that one off. Aleph 757, Tuckaroo, Dano, Let's Pay Like, Alvarez, Jay Sheely, Fast Like a Bear, SP, Eileen, Muley McWoolhead, Maui Sam, GRG78, we'll get you, Mark, Let's Hope, Brian Adams. I think those are the ones that are left. Everyone else has either gotten their codes or said, no thank you. already had codes, etc. Rulers out. All BBYQ people need to be putting their buying power into GME, not Pulte Home, not IEP, not I'm putting what I can to GME at the moment. For me, IEP is one of those things that you invest in afterwards when you don't want to do anything anymore. I don't want to think about it. I'll just take my 20% gains every year and live off that. But yeah, and I'm not buying Pulte Homes. I'm buying GME. That's what I'm doing. But I do think Bill Pulte is trying to set up a proxy fight to get back control of Pulte Homes from the CEO. And so I think he does want people to invest in his company so he can set up that proxy fight and be like, look, get out here, buddy. I got the people behind me. Gold Fever. Thank you. Ruler's Odd is Gold Fever. That's the one. That's the dude who has like just the biggest hog in the entire world. Just if you watch Gold Fever, I think you see episodes on like YouTube and stuff. The guy's like 9 million years old, and that thing is a third leg. He is a tripod. It's absolutely crazy. Cold Schlonger. Antonio Baez, congratulations on an unexpected trip to Florida. Glad to see you going. Well, thank you. Austin Powers Gold member. Frozen State Productions. The bankruptcy expert admitted that he wasn't an expert, but sure acted like one. We should challenge him to bird law contest with Charlie Kelly. Yeah. I'm a bankruptcy expert. Like, dude, if you're a bankruptcy expert, your profile picture would not be you in a tank top with a gold chain. Like, that's just, no one is hiring you to facilitate their bankruptcy. Michael Anthony, which are the best 5 Bitcoin miners? Fuck if I know. Go get a whole bunch of GPUs and start mining. That's all I know. I haven't mined Bitcoin in years. Last time I mined Bitcoin was probably 2016. And I did that. I did some Bitcoin, but I mostly did ZEC that winter. So I lived in this giant house. We call it the Charles Mansion. And the electric furnace to heat the home was costing us like $600 a month. And so what I did was I went to Goodwill and I bought a whole bunch of crappy computers, just like dozens of them. And I filled the house with crappy computers in all the rooms. And then I had them overclocked and mining crypto. And that way, the electric bill was still like $700 a month, but I was making like $300 a month off the crypto. So that was helping offset heating the home. So that's how I kept the house warm for a winter. And I kind of feel like I should be doing that in this house right now because our heating oil is expensive. I got the wood fireplace now, but right now we got some space heaters going. I think it's a little bit cheaper actually to have space heaters than it is to have the oil furnace do its thing. What do you want, monkey? You're looking at me. You're like, it's 4:08. You only got 22 minutes left in the show. Therefore, this, right? Is that what you're looking for? Stinky chicken? Stinky chicken? Okay. Stinky chicken. The stinky chicken eater. Doing the stinky chicken stuff. Alright, come on, get her. Get that stinky chicken. Arr, arr, arr. Good dog. You good dog. Oh, copy and paste. Jim Chan, a short seller who shorted Enron and Tesla, is officially shutting down his hedge fund and returning investor cash. His fund fell from $6 billion in 2008 to just $200 million as of last year. That's not very. You're not doing very good if you lose $6 billion. You know, and so he's not really giving his investors any cash. He's like, well, here's your chicken feed. Oopsie daisy. Interesting. Michael, I think again, which are the best 5 Bitcoin miners? Not a clue, man. I don't mind a Bitcoin at the moment. Covenants and Homer, remember dupes from January are deep out of the money puts on the menu again, so they can use them as locates. Very possibly. Yeah, last year the dupes represented like, I forget what it was 100 million shares or something of GME were in dupes, like puts that would never trigger. You can buy them for cheap. Not a moth. What made you get Monkey and Batman as pets? Okay, so Monkey Butt. I had moved into the Charles Mansion. I was finally in a rental home where I could have pets. Why did I get that house? At the time, there were 5 homes available in my entire community for rent. And I was desperate. I was about to be homeless because I could not find a place to live anywhere. And so one of the real estate property manager people, they had a little office, and I'd known them like in passing over the years. So I went and I baked them a giant plate of chocolate chip cookies. And I was like, please give me a home. And chocolate chip cookies worked. And they're like, hey, we have a home. It's expensive, but it's the only home available. And I was like, sold. And so we moved into the Charles Mansion, my roommate and I. And I'd ask them like, hey, we have pets? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. As long as they don't like piss and shit everywhere. I'm like, good enough. So I started looking. And I was in the home about a month. And I saw a picture from the Kids Have Humane Society site of this like skinny dog with a cool coat, kind of prancing around some flowers. I was like, that's a cool looking dog. I'm gonna head on down and look at her because it was the only one. Like, if you look at Humane Society, the pound, whatever, it's all pit bulls and chihuahuas. And I just didn't want a chihuahua, and I didn't feel like getting a pit bull because who knows what background a lot of the pit bulls who end up in the pounds come from. A lot of them use fighting dogs or had people that wanted like big tough dogs or whatever. And so show up, and Monkey had just gotten spayed. So she had this like giant cone on her head. She was a skinny little thing in the corner. And I went up to her cage. I put my finger in the cage, and she went up and was like on my finger. I said, good enough for me. Let's get this dog. So I went to the front desk like, hey, the dog and kennel, whatever. I want that one. And she's like, oh, all of our adoption counselors are gone for the day, but come back tomorrow and you can see adoption counselor. So I came back the next day. I was there like 20 minutes before they opened, just waiting in front of the door. Open. And they opened. I raced in. Was like, I want that dog. And there we go. So it brought me to the adoption counselor. And the adoption counselor was this like 17, 18-year-old volunteer. She was a child. And she was like, it says you don't have a fenced yard. Like, well, I don't think we can adopt this dog to you. And I was like, this dog will be fine without a fenced yard. We have a nice yard. We're in a nice neighborhood. She's going to be spending her time a good chunk of the year running through the desert, having a great time anyway. Everything will be fine. She's like, I don't think we can adopt this dog to you. And I was like, young lady, I'm old enough to run for president of the United States. I've had dogs older than you. This dog will be fine. And I want to talk to your manager. So she's like, oh, okay. She went and got like the head of the Humane Society who came down. And she was like, well, this dog, she'll be prone to violence. Won't be able to have her around children. You won't be able to have her around other dogs or cats. She's just going to kill things. And as she's saying this, this like Bichon Frise walks past the kennel we're in, and Monkey's like, oh, hello. Like, really? This dog's going to kill everything? I'm like, how about this? I'll have this dog under voice command within a week, and everything will be fine. She's like, well, I'm going to have you sign a special contract, and if this dog ever goes missing, you'll never get it back, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, whatever, lady, just give me the dog. So that's how I got Monkey Butt. Yes, and it's been love ever since, right, Monkey? And then Chalupa Batman, well, I had a cat named B.A. Baracus, Mr. T's character from the A-Team. And B.A. Baracus, he was 16, 17-ish when Monkey Butt came around. He was also a get from Humane Society. And he was a grumpy old man, didn't want nothing to do with Monkey Butt. So anytime Monkey Butt ended up near B.A. Baracus, Monkey Butt would just like shake in fear because B.A. gave no shits and would just kick the crap out of her. And if Monkey was ever acting up, I could bear hug her and like roll her towards the cat, and she would just go limp and like give up because of pure terror of the cat. But B.A. was, he's getting to the end of his lifespan. And so April 2019, he started like bringing in mice to the house. He never did that before. He'd always just desiccate them and leave them on the porch for like a gift to us or something. But he started bringing them into the house. And he'd bring them to me specifically and be like, "Pah, get it." Because I think he's like, I'm dying. I'm on my way out. I need to teach you how to survive because obviously you're incompetent. And I think BA was trying to teach me how to like catch mice. What ended up happening was you'd drop them, the mice would run away, Monkey Butt would kill the mouse, and then worked out. And then one day I let him out and he just never came back. And I don't think he was captured by a coyote or an owl or an eagle or anything. I think he's just like, well, I'm 20 something. I feel like shit. I'm going to go crawl under something and die there. Good to know you. And I let him out that night, and I was lying in bed, and I was like, he's not alive anymore. That's it. I just had this feeling came over me that he was never coming back. I was never going to see him again. The next morning, I opened the door for him, and he wasn't there, and you never saw him again. So we didn't get a cat immediately. So this is April 2019. By that summer, by like June, July, we could hear mice in the walls. There were mice crawling through the walls, or you could see the evidence of them. And it was gross. And I didn't realize how much BA had been like murdering the mice, keeping them out of the house. So grab Scott, my old roommate, and we head down to the cat adoption place, the Paws, and walked in. I was like, hey, I need a cat that's cool with dogs and will kill mice. And the lady was like, how about this cat? And it was just like giant 900-pound cat in a chair. And I said, no, that cat hasn't been removed from that chair. She's like, I know. So they took us into this room with cats running all over the walls and everything. And she's like, on the chart, it says this black one here. His name was like Floof or something. Puff or Fuzzy, I don't know. And she's like, this one says he lived with dogs and he's a mouse killer. I went over to pet him and he's like, ah. I said, perfect. Let's get him. So it took about 3 minutes of being inside the cat place. I had a cat in a box and brought him home. And then introduced him to Monkey Butt. And Monkey Butt was all excited to like chase the cat. And the cat came out of the kennel and was like, sup? And Monkey's like, I don't know what to do with this. I guess we're friends. And they've been buddies ever since. Right, Monkey? That's right. You guys have been lovely little buddies ever since. So that's how I got Super Batman and Monkey Butt. And that first week, Super Batman caught a mouse that had run under the oven and then brought it out, dropped it, and Monkey Butt killed it. And they've been tag teaming them ever since. So and now we've got 3 cats in the house because my roommate has 2 of them, and I've not heard anything remotely close to a mouse in a long time. Okay, there's that story. Ludwig Vladimir Dorner, what's the latest update? An S1 yet or still nothing? Dude, if there's an S1, you'd see me popping my Martinellis right now. No S1, nothing. We just get the drip, 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 drip of dockets from the bankruptcy court, and all of them point towards something cool happening, but all right, I got 12 minutes. Sorry, it's a short show today, but I will be on PP Show in like 5 hours or so. Confidence of Homer, why is Pulte involved? Were the shorts messing with his family's company? I think that might be part of it. I guess I will ask him if and when I meet him on the 14th. He's been a proxy battle. I think he's convinced that there's basically the CEO of Pulte Homes is a piece of crap who's like a BCG plant or a short shill plant, and he wants him out. So I guess I'll ask him. We'll find out. Daniel Batchelor started watching late regarding your sentiment that shills need to chill out on BBY. They can't chill out because they are going to lose so bad in this play they aren't even sleeping at night. That is also true. But all of them will tell you, like, I'm neither long nor short on the stock. You know, I spend all of my time, 10 hours, in fact, on this space call during a work day because I am so not invested either way on this stock. And whenever a short shill approaches you on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, any social media, demand they show you their gain porn. Show me your gain porn. And if they don't have gain porn to show you, ask why. Well, I'm neither long nor short. Then just shut the fuck up and get out of here. If you've got no skin in the game, shut up. No one wants to hear what you have to say. You got zero skin. You didn't have the courage of your convictions to actually short the stock you're so convinced will no longer exist. So then who gives a shit what you think? If you were so certain, why didn't you short it? Right? Like, why are you devoting all this time? You're just doing this for free? What a loser. What a pathetic little dweeb you must be to like spend 18 hours a day talking shit about the stock and you never had the balls to short it yourself. That's just every time you face one of those dudes, say, show me your gain porn. And they never can because I'm neither long nor short. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Rulerzod, Google what space movie came out in 1992. Space movie? Oh. Huh. That's the first one that shows up. Interesting. I will, huh. Yep, that will stay there. Okay. Of course, there's the reset of the channel. Where am I? I forgot to see the timestamp of where it was. Okay, here we go. World War III trying to get me to talk about the Israel-Palestine conflict, but your name is World War III, so no? Whisker Biscuit, I know you can't speak on Meetup, but Polikaris is no longer with the company. What's your take on why he is currently unemployed and what might be next for him? Will he ever return to a prior employer? Not a clue. But the guy who, I can say the guy who replaced him quit. So I don't know what's going on now. That seems very, very, very weird. ECB, appreciate your show. Thank you, ECB. It's very kind of you. Very kind of you indeed. But yeah, Whisker Biscuit, beyond that, I don't know. Weird things are happening, and I don't know if they're good or not. And I've got another, 3 months and a week until I can talk about it in full. So hopefully nothing horrible happens between now and then so we can talk about it. All right. Ludwig Vladimir Dorner, isn't MOAS actually too good to be true, meaning it could also never happen? Unless they get checkmated, dude. That's what I think Ryan Cohen and company are trying to do with BBBY is they're going to checkmate these guys. So there's no choice but to MOAS. Or at least blow up things enough to change the system forever. On entity calls and double intro. Yeah, it happened. Cameras watched Kevin Costner waterhole yesterday and saw a keyboard float by. Keyboard's fine. It dried out. We're good. All the keys appear to work. So it was the numpad that got drenched on. So I think all those, I can make sure here, but yeah, they're all working. So we're good. We are good. Someone get used to that sphincter cup thing? What? Okay. Coffee Dozen Homer, Michael Anthony went from Van Halen to posting on Houston's show. Frozen State Productions, people with beards are just people without beards with beards. This is true. This is exactly what we are. It's exactly what we are. I got an idea for this year's fancy mustache, but I worry because these hairs here, right here, it looks like I don't have hair. I actually do, but they're all blonde. And I worry that the blondness of them may kind of ruin the effect I'm going to go for. Because I look at myself on camera, it looks like I don't have hair here, but there's just as much hair right here as there is here. It's just blonde for some reason. But my idea involves having something there. So I may have to just for men these hairs or something, just so that they show up to make my idea work. But you guys will see on December 1st what International Mustache Day mustache I do. So, dude, Kitty, your toots smell exactly like your cat food right now. That is just grotesque. I've never had a cat fart fill up a room before, but that cat just did one. JDale, you can own IEP in a qualified account because it's a limited partnership unit. Interesting. Let's look up what the difference is there. My beard hides my weak chin. My beard hides my butt chin. Limit 22. No, Houston, I am one of them. They will sell off their assets, and I'm avoiding U.S. markets because the BS. If this would pop earlier like it should, then yes, I would be back into U.S. market. What's that one in response to? I have no idea. Maui Sam, the way RC treated customers of Chewy tells Maui Sam about his business practice integrity in all aspects of life. Many people in business for generations live by this and die with it. Aloha to all. Yes, Sincere 206. Happy birthday, Houston. Question: do you think Ryan Cohen and squad want to register a private entity to T0 to merge with a public company like Overstock, GME, etc., to create Amazon Killer and Company? Sure. I mean, it's all we're in speculation station. It's all speculation, and all every I don't say every day idea, but 90% of the ideas you guys come up with, I'm sure they've sat in a room smoking cigars, coming up with them themselves, making a list. All right, well, if we did this, what if we did that? What if we did this? And then they brought the lawyers in, like, lawyers, tell us which of these we can make happen. And the lawyers are like, pay me, and I'll tell you all the things that can happen. And I think that's where we are. That they probably went through. Probably brought in some guy who writes sci-fi novels, like, think of the weirdest shit you can come up with. And he's like, all right, here we go. And then they just spitball it, and I bet they had crazy ideas like that. Hey, let's make a private company, put on a blockchain, reverse merger into this bitch, get the nulls, explode the stock, and we'll go crazy. They probably thought of it. So here we are, having thought of it all. Boom. Trend, there might be a little tsunami if it blows in the water. Well, volcanic eruptions in the water can do crazy stuff. We saw what happened in Tonga in 2022, one of the largest explosions ever experienced by human beings. Like, people are deaf in those islands because of that explosion. We have water and a magma chamber combined. You can get a flash explosion of steam, then the eruption is incredible. Just read Krakatoa by Simon Winchester. You have an idea of what can happen when there's an eruption like that. And the tsunamis can be insanely large when they happen as well. So yeah, it's very possible. Right now there's an island forming off Iwo Jima. It has not created a giant explosion yet, but time will tell if it could or not. Because that magma chamber sits there and a whole bunch of water can seep into that magma chamber and then flash steam explosion, kaboom. All right, I got 2 minutes. I got 2 minutes, folks, and then I got to run away. But I'll be on Whatchamajigger tonight. Coitus interruptus Houston. How do I keep gold diggers away from my MOAS earnings? I've never had to deal with gold diggers before, so I have no idea. My guess is, one, look and act really poor, and then you won't have to worry about that. That's probably the best method. Never enjoy any of the money you have. And then no one will know you have it. Live a life like a Jesuit monk or something, and that's what you can do. Or you can just embrace it and be like, hey, gold diggers, come up plenty. None of you are getting anything, but I'll lead you all on to think you are. And then they're gonna try and get pregnant by you so that you Nick Cannon them and have to pay for child support and whatnot. But just keep your wits about you. And surround yourself with good people, I guess, is probably the best way to do it. But I'm just speculating because I've never had the problem of having people come after me for my wealth, because I'll share my ramen noodles with someone right now, but that's where we are. Monkey butt, you use me for stinky chicken, but the stinky chicken was given to you by avocados, so it's not really my stinky chicken I'm giving you. I guess think about that. Think about what mechanisms you will use. I know a lot of people, one of the big problems they have when they win the lotto and stuff is they don't, if they live in a community that's generally poor, they don't leave. And if you are a lotto winner and you live in East Bumfuck, West Virginia or something, get out. That's probably the first thing. Just get out, leave. Go to where rich people are. Go to where rich people are and just be an anonymous rich person in the midst of all the other rich people. Because if you are like suddenly the wealthy one out of this whole group and you have no experience with that wealth, they will come after you. They will rob you. They will bleed you blind. You'll get hit with weird lawsuits. Just, take your winnings and just disappear one night. Don't tell them where you're going. Just leave. And like, I'm blessed in that the community I live in, I have filthy rich people all over the place. No one will notice if I'm rich or not. They won't care because pretty much everyone else is already rich. So I'm kind of lucky in that, but there's a lot of you folks that don't have that community, that type of community that you're in. And, I would suggest like A, not telling anyone that you hold this stuff. B, when you do win big, don't go splashing in your quiet little hood. Just leave. Be like, hey, I'm gonna take a vacation for a while. Be like, oh, okay, cool. And just disappear. And then you can use those months of vacation to figure out where your next moves are. Get your attorneys, get your accountants, get your CPAs, all those guys all lined up, and figure out where you're gonna go from there. Okay, I've got to go. I'll see you guys at PP Show tonight in 4.5 hours or so. And peace out, Girl Scouts. Right, Monkey? Right, Cat? Everybody's cool? All right. And we'll do the other one. It's not dark outside yet, so I can't do the other... Wait, where are we? That's one. That's daytime intro. Shwink.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Houston, we have a problem.